Hello, all you beautiful souls out there. In today's video, I'm going to talk a little bit about your relationship with money, some of the beliefs that you have around money, how you can release those beliefs, and then I'm going to give you the 3 easiest tips that you can start to bring that flow of abundance into your life. And these things cost no money at all. They are very simple things that you can start to do right now, tomorrow, whenever, but they are so beautiful and they really start that giving and receiving flow of energy coming into your life. So let's get started. The first thing that I wanted to share about money is that most likely your beliefs around money are not your own. They are inherited, and they can be inherited from friends, family, society, but you more than likely did not just come into this world believing that money is the root of all evil or that money doesn't grow on trees. So I think that might be the first kind of step into understanding your relationship with money. What is your belief around money? When you think about money, what are the thoughts that you have? Let me know in the comments below, what are your beliefs around money? What is your relationship with money? Like I said, most of us think that money is hard to come by, that the amount of money that we receive is in direct relationship to how much we work for it, how hard we work for it. Again, money is the root of all evil. But in reality, money is just energy. There is no difference energetically in a penny and in $100 bill. They carry the same energy. We assign these values to them and make one bigger than the other, right? So we believe it's harder to find a $100 bill on the floor than it would be to find a penny on the floor. We believe that it's harder to make $100 than it would be to make a penny. And so these are all beliefs that we've placed on money. But again, in reality, it's just a value system, like an energetic way for us to experience life. And when we can kind of see it in that way, it really does start to shift. So, it's a way to enhance your life experience. It's a way to enhance the life experience of those around you. Think of all the wonderful things that you can do with money. It doesn't have to be evil. It's unfortunate that that's what we've kind of been exposed to, in this world, in our lives, that money makes people do not so nice things, but it doesn't have to be that way. And it certainly doesn't have to be that way for you. You can make the choice to experience money differently. It doesn't have to be lack. You can make the choice to experience it differently than, those around you. And that was a big thing for me when I realized that my beliefs around money were not my own, that fear of lack, that was certainly inherited from society, inherited from my parents. I mean, I love them, but it's true. They lived in different times. They lived a different life than we did, or than we are living. And money was different. Things were different. Their parents lived through the Depression. It cascades down. They lived through wars. We are not necessarily living in that time. And even if we are, we can change the way we look at it. We can change the way we perceive it, which begins to change our relationship to it. And that was really a huge thing for me, understanding where my money beliefs came from. And the last thing I want to say about money beliefs is that a lot of us, a lot of people believe that there's not enough, that there's not enough to go around. And that's just not true. There is plenty to go around, and you can start to experience abundance just by looking around you. You have to remember, abundance doesn't necessarily mean financial. Sometimes we think of it that way, but abundance could be anything. Abundance can be love. Abundance can be support. There can be an abundance of food, an abundance of fun, an abundance of pleasure, an abundance of nature. That's one of the ways that you can really start to bring abundance of all kinds into your life, is to start to notice all the other types of abundance that are around you. There can be an abundance of grass, an abundance of trees, an abundance of people, an abundance of traffic. It really doesn't matter. Just noticing the abundance, how much there is to go around, really can start to help bring that abundance into your life. All right, and so I'm gonna share with you some tips, some wonderful, easy tips that you can start to practice right now, today, tomorrow, that will really start to change your relationship. And really, what it starts to do is initiate that flow, that give and take, that flow of coming in, going out, coming in, going out. And so one of the very simple things that you can do is when you're going to someone's house, whether that's your parents' house, a friend's house, a colleague, someone you've never met before, whatever it is, bring them something. I was certainly always taught to bring something when I go to people's homes. You never show up empty-handed. But even now, sometimes I kind of let it slip because it's like, oh, it's my friend or whatever. But even for your friend, and again, this can be a handwritten note, a flower that you pick from outside, like a dandelion or something, just something to show them your appreciation for them inviting you into their home. It can be home-baked goods. It can be something you bought, a plant. It doesn't matter. Especially if you have house plants, I will say, and I have plenty of them. You can always start little, I can't think of the word, whatever they are, like little seedlings or whatever from your plant and give them to people. It's a wonderful little, like, I'm thinking about you, here you go. And so, one of the things I think also that really kind of made a difference for me when thinking about money and my relationship with money was so my mom gave me this Louis Vuitton wallet. And Louis Vuitton holds a special place in my heart. My aunt used to work for them when we were very little. So we grew up with a lot of Louis around the house and things like that. And, recently my mom gave me her Louis Vuitton wallet from whatever it was, 1985 or something. And it's very sentimental to me, but I noticed that when I was out in public, I was like afraid, or not afraid, but I felt weird pulling it out. I felt like, oh my gosh, I don't want these people to think that I have abundance, that I am some kind of like rich snob. I don't know. I'm not really sure, but there was some resistance there. And that was in the past year or so. So, really like noticing that and seeing how I reacted to that. Once I figured that out, I was like, oh no, this is not happening. We are not gonna move forward with this. So I started to carry that wallet around with so much pride, and just, whip it out whenever without thinking about it. I mean, it took maybe a week or two to kind of, not feel funny pulling it out. But once I noticed it, I was really able to kind of nip it in the bud right away, because I knew that me feeling that way was my resistance to money and my resistance to abundance and the things that we think symbolize abundance. So that, is there something in your life that you are either, afraid to use, or you don't want people to think a certain way about you, and so you don't wear it, bring it out, whatever it is, jewelry, clothes, a car, again, it's really just the way that you look at abundance and how it translates into your life. That resistance that you have internally translates to outside. I digress. So the second thing that you can practice doing to start that flow of energy into your life of abundance is practice receiving. Many of us are not good at receiving. That can be receiving a compliment. That can be receiving actual gifts. That can be receiving money. And again, it's all about, there's maybe some deep-seated beliefs around it, maybe not, but it could stem from self-worth and, things like that. But I'm going to say, just be aware of it. Practice receiving. When someone pays you a compliment, don't brush it off and say, oh, no, thank you. Just say thank you. Oh, someone comments on, hey, you look wonderful today. Well, thank you. You know, it really can be that simple, but it's about practicing it, because when you push it away, you're pushing away that receiving energy. You're saying, no, 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 I don't want it, I don't need it, whatever it is. And the universe says, okay, no, we won't give it to you then. So you have to practice pulling that in, practice receiving. You could even, like, if someone gives you a present and for whatever reason and you don't like it, receive it, and receive it with grace, and then save it and give it to someone else. That can be the gift that you bring to someone else's house when you go there. It really doesn't matter, but just practice receiving. They always say it's the thought that counts. So even if you're not fond of it, even if you don't love it, accept it and then do something else with it, recycle it, but really you've got to start to, or my suggestion would be to start to understand that receiving is part of the abundance. Just like if you, say, perform a service for someone and they want to pay you for it. It could be your friend, it could be a stranger, it doesn't matter. But if someone offers you money, you know how sometimes, like when you go out to dinner even, there's that back and forth, right? Oh no, I'll pay the check. Oh no, you don't have to, it's okay, I'll pay the check. Oh no, 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 no. Just say yes. Wonderful, thank you so much, I appreciate that, because you're practicing receiving. Someone goes to hand you a tip or money for your service, receive it. Practice receiving, because that, again, it will start that flow of energy into your life. And so the third tip is, whatever it is that you want, give it away. Because when you give it away, you're sending out the energy that you have enough to share. And so when, you think you don't have it, you hold on to it, and that stifles energy. That stifles energy of anything, right? Even if it's a person, nobody wants to be held so tightly that they can't kind of go out and reach out and do whatever. And money is the same thing. Money wants to be managed. Money wants to have ease of energetic flow. It does not want to, get held on so tightly that it can't breathe. And it also doesn't want to get spent so fast that there's, not that balance. That elusive balance that we are always searching for. But you can do it. You can absolutely do it. So again, when you want something, give it away. You're telling the universe that you have enough to share. And, make sure you're doing it out of the goodness of your heart, right? You don't want to be doing it like in a sneaky, like mischievous way of like, oh, well, I want money, so I'm going to give it all away. It's got to really be like sharing. Sharing because you want to, sharing because you can. And I promise you, if you can start to introduce those three very simple things into your life, you will start to see the abundance start to flow. And so, again, notice, well, actually, so maybe it's 4. Notice the abundance all around you. Notice it wherever you go. The abundance, again, in nature, plants, animals, people, traffic, food, whatever it is, there is an abundance of it. And know that there is plenty to go around. The second thing would be to, when you go somewhere, bring something. Bring something to someone's house, whether that's just a small token of appreciation or a bigger gesture. It's up to you how big you want to go, how much you feel like, you can do. The third thing is going to be practice receiving. Receiving whatever that is. Receiving love, compliments, money, whatever that looks like for you. And finally, give away what you want, because it sends the message that you have more than enough to share. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching today. Don't forget to go to my website and sign up to receive my newsletter, where every month I send out plenty of wonderful QHHT insights, messages from my guides, and my wonderful tips and tricks on how to live in this 3D world. All right, I will see you on the other side.